when should I use my race wheels? Only when racing, during my taper and race, periodically throughout my training, all the time. Well, it's a personal preference. It doesn't really, if you're riding on your own, it doesn't really matter what wheels you're riding on. But that being said, if you're riding on your race wheels, you can work psychologically, you're riding faster, and it's a great opportunity in the final parts of your training program when you're starting to work on speed to migrate onto your racing wheels and do some racing, do some speed work on your racing wheels. So, but that being said, that you want to make sure that when you do those speed sessions on your racing wheels, that you check your tires and make sure that you're not getting them cut off and full of glass and stuff, because it's nothing worse than doing all this training, then getting to the race and you've got a bit of glass or something embedded in your tire, go out for the race and then you get a puncture. So my preference, so when you're riding on your own, it doesn't really matter whether you're riding on your race wheels or not. But personally, I prefer to ride on my training wheels when I'm training and even doing all my speed work on my training wheels. And then when I jump on my racing wheels, it's like, oh, it's just a bigger lift. And it's interesting to note that, I have trained, and certainly when you're training with other people, it makes a huge difference, all right? So, because, they may be riding on their racing wheels and you're having to keep up with them. Now, if you're struggling to keep up with your race mates and they're riding on their racing wheels, then obviously ride on your racing wheels. But I used to train on my training wheels, my heavy training wheels, with all my cycling mates, and then and they'd be beating me on hills and those sort of things. I'd be struggling a little bit. When it came to race day, there was a big difference. I found that I was riding faster than them. So if you wanted to maybe with races, you can do this with your recreational rides with your mates as well. You can ride around with your mates on your training wheels, and then one day you rock up on your racing wheels, don't say anything, and hopefully nobody notices. Probably will anyway, and then you just beat the pants off them. So there is some degree of element of the acceleration that you're having to develop and that sort of thing that really helps you in your racing if you're training on your training wheel. So I hope that answers your question, Tony. It's a great question.